Hi, and welcome to the RAGONET channel. Today we're going to be discussing about the good old iPhone OS as well as the iPad OS. There's been a recent vulnerability released on the CISA website on October 6th of 2023. I'll talk about how this affects you, ways to get around this, and to get this patched and fixed, as well as tips and tricks to avoid getting exploited if you have not recently did the update. So I'll go ahead and leave all the links below on this information. That way you can read up on it yourself. I'm going to give you a brief summary on this as well. So let's get to it. So we have here the CISA website talking about the Apple release security updates for iOS and iPad OS. The release date here, as you can see, is October 6th of 2023. So Apple has released security updates to address vulnerabilities in iOS and iPad OS. A cyber threat actor could exploit these vulnerabilities to take control of affected system. So CISA encourages users and administrators to review the following advisory and apply the necessary updates, iOS 1703 and iPad OS 1703. So the resolution to fixing this vulnerability within the iPhones are going to be just updating it to the 1703. So that's basically include the patch for this vulnerability. Now, if we go to NVD, so the NIST website for this vulnerability, it's CVE 2023-42824. It gives you the same description in a sense here. The issue was addressed with the improved checks. The issue is fixed in iOS 1703, iPad OS 1703. Local attacker may be able to elevate their privileges. Apple is aware of the report that this issue may have been actively exploited against versions of iOS before iOS 16.6. So it looks like this was a previous issue too on different versions a while ago, but now is being addressed, which is kind of interesting. So the score is a 7.8. So it's a high. And then you can see the dates here as well. And then the source is Apple itself. So that's pretty cool. And then this is going to be some more information here as well. So if you want to go ahead and dive into that, you can. So vulnerability name, Apple iOS and iPad OS, kernel privilege escalation vulnerability. So usually what would happen here is the threat actor would send like a phishing email if they want with a link or something to download, like you could say PDF or something like that. So you would just download that and execute that on your phone or iPad in this case, or click on a link. They could create some sort of payload or something to exploit this vulnerability. By doing this, they would be able to maybe put a rootkit in there, whatever they feel like. It's really up to them what they would decide to do. So it's usually best to update to the newest version to patch this. Now, there are ways to prevent yourself from getting exploited by this. Of course, one, don't click on any links that you don't know who sent them to you. And even if you did know who sent it to you, you could kind of tell the reputation of the website by looking at it. If it looks kind of suspicious, don't click on the link. Maybe go ahead and reach out to your friend or whoever it is that sent you that link and ask them why they sent you that link or what is that link specifically. Now, same thing with an email. If you don't know the sender or even text message or whatever it is, if you don't know who it is, best bet, don't click on it. Don't open whatever's in there or download. That's just a good precaution to do in general. And so as long as you don't click on anything that you shouldn't be clicking on or downloading and opening anything that you shouldn't, chances are you're going to be very safe from this vulnerability within your iPhone or iPad. So those are just some tips and tricks of avoiding from getting exploited by this and ways to patch this issue so that way you don't have to face it. But still, in reality, don't click on any links you don't know. I'll just tell you that right there. And then it says known affected software configuration. So anything under 17.3, so up to, and this is excluding 1703. So that's one way to fix it and resolve it. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Of course, I'm going to post both these links here below as well and some other resources too. And if you have any more questions or want to see other videos, let me know in the comments below and I'll get to you. So have a good one, everyone.